you get to meet my friend and client, but mostly my friend, Janet Barnett. Thank you so much for being with us on the Meredith Show.
Thank you so much for
Janet, my pleasure. Janet is a portrait and personal branding photographer, and an amazing one at that.
Thank you, darling.
And that's where the shine comes in, because you bring your gifts to the world and you shine taking pictures, and it's the gift that keeps giving, because their pictures make them shine.
Absolutely. I'm always trying to make people look amazing, like a movie star, a rock star, whatever their dream is.
Well, speaking of rock stars, you've actually worked with some stars as well. Tell us a little bit about your celebrity connections. We are in LA, of course, so it's not, it would be remiss not to mention your street cred.
This is a trip, talk about street cred, this trip to the Wayback Machine. Back in the MTV days, Sunset Strip, all that stuff. My husband and I actually met when we were working on the Sunset Strip, working with all those crazy hair bands like Warrant and Poison.
Wow.
And we shot with these guys and worked with them and created identities for them. And it's only just recently that I realized I was doing branding back then too. I was trying to make these guys look like bigger deals than they were, so they would get the right agent looking at them, so they would get the music deal and the record signed and the tour and everything they wanted.
Well, I have to say that that's where the magic is, because at the end of the day, people don't know how to level themselves up most often. I mean, that's where I get a lot of work, because people are looking to, they have a shine inside of them, they don't know how to express it perhaps, or show up with it. And you really do need a great photographer for a good photo, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, iPhones are great and shooting selfies are great and all this kind of quick content that you post on the internet is fantastic. But when you're really to the point where you're asking for the big money, you're expecting the big client, you're looking for that big opportunity, you have to come in looking like an absolute pro. So that's what I want my clients to always look like.
And speaking of being an absolute pro, you have a fun fact that I'd like to share with everybody. If you like a little vino, it's great to know Janet Barnett and her husband Greg, who actually have a winery right here in California, Napa Wines.
True, in Southern California, in Westlake Village to be exact, yes.
And I think what's really cool is not just the wine, it's that you have live music every weekend.
Yeah, talk about a full circle moment. We met on the Sunset Strip and now we're booking live bands in our winery every Friday and Saturday night.
Every Friday and Saturday night?
Yep. And some of these people we've actually known for 30 years, so.
Well, I think it's amazing to have that legacy of music, and obviously bringing the fun factor to the Valley is really cool.
Yes.
I'd like to know, speaking of the fun factor, what you enjoy most about helping people shine, because I think that we all want a good photograph, right? But at the end of the day, not only is it about who's taking the photo, but what you're going for.
Well, it's always fascinating to me, first of all, how many people, women in particular, don't have a photo that they even like of themselves. And that's really the heart of it. It's like, are you worth taking the time to have this photograph? Whether it's for your business or for just something personal. And this is really the crux of the matter, you know? You're worth it. You're absolutely worth it. You're worth being photographed. You're worth showing up. You're worth being seen. That's really what it is. It's really all those, you know, the guts of the self-esteem issue is right there in that moment.
I have to say it's so true, because for the longest time, yours truly, I always admit my mess. I have been using a headshot that might be, I don't know, 7 or 8 years old, because for a long time I couldn't give it up. Like, I literally was thinking, I need to lose 10 more pounds, or when my hair grows out. You know, if you look at that I guess it's sort of like a trap that many people get into. You're never going to get an authentic, good, true, genuine photo, and you're always going to be waiting for the perfect moment, which never comes.
Well, if you're waiting for the perfect moment, you're right, it will never come. Are you going to be held hostage by 10 pounds? Are you going to let your dreams in your life be held hostage by 10 pounds, or your hair, or your wardrobe? All of that's fixable, manageable. I mean, quite frankly, I can make anyone look 10 pounds thinner. So
I can confirm this. I know the pose. I won't stand up and strike it, but we should contact Janet if you're looking for that photo. No, I'm just kidding.
That's not the issue. The issue is we all want to see you. We want you to be seen. And when you see a photograph of yourself that you truly love, your confidence skyrockets. You know, you really feel like you're the one, you're the person, you're the woman, you're the star, and sometimes you just need that evidence.
Speaking of evidence, I've been a fan of yours on Instagram. Before we became really good friends, I was following you. And I know that you have a passion for helping women. Is it over 40 and 50? What's your niche?
Well, since I actually turned 60 myself this year, I started doing a over 50 women's project because this is really where I find gals of my age, 50 and up, gosh, we just have the best stories. I mean, we've been through some stuff. We've been through some
You
stuff.
can say it on the Meredith Show.
We've been through some stuff. And we need to represent ourselves at our age. That's another thing. It's not just 10 pounds. A lot of people are like, well, I look better 10 years ago. I looked better 20 years ago. But did you really? I mean, you probably really didn't like the way you looked then either. So let's stop making excuses. Let's show up. Let's create that legacy. Let's create that image. That dream you have of looking like the movie star in Vanity Fair. Who doesn't want to look like that, right?
Yes, and I have to say one of the things I love the most about you is even though you work with celebrities and you've been honing your craft for 30 years and you say you're still learning. I mean, you're humble is what I like about you, I mean, you are amazing and you never stop learning.
No, you have to keep learning. I'm always inspired. I'm always trying to get myself to the next level as a photographer. I always see work that I want to emulate. And that's the fun of it, really. That's the fun of it. If you get stuck in the same groove and wind up doing the same look over and over, it gets boring. And then you start phoning it in and nobody's happy. I like to create something fresh, new, exciting, beautiful, glamorous, all the great words, right? So.
Well, we never say no to glamour in Hollywood. And people watching all over the world should also know that they can fly in and you have an amazing studio, like a beautiful space.
Aw, thank you, sweetheart. Yeah, my studio is actually in the winery. So
cool.
Kind of a good
major
tie-in.
perk is what I'm talking about.
If you like drinking wine, if you are nervous maybe about having a photograph taken, sometimes these things can help. We do a session together. We have lunch after. We sample some of the goods, some of the Chardonnay, some of the rosé, and we relax. We have a good time. We get to know each other. I mean, I'm all about making a connection with my client. One of the things I read recently that kind of broke my heart a little bit was that women over 50 have a hard time making new friends. Because a lot of us are out of the workplace. Maybe we had kids and our kids are out of the house and, we've lost our mom friends. And maybe we've moved. So making new friends was a big part of it for me. And I've met so many amazing women doing this over 50 project. So come and join me. Come and join me for a photograph and a glass of wine.
And a glass of wine, and I love it. Two of my favorite things, and I absolutely think it's a treat for you to be on the show. And if you are looking to shine, Janet is your woman. She can make it, and she can also make it an enjoyable, very, very fun experience. I want to say that I know you know somebody out there doing something amazing. Please promise me that you will take a little time and share the love. Please feel free to share this segment, and whatever you do, take a little time to shine. Thank you, Janet.
Thank you, Meredith.
If you liked today's episode, we hope that you'll like us on Facebook and stay connected. You can find us under The Meredith Show there and on Instagram under The Meredith Show. And if you or somebody you know you think will make a great guest, please email us at meredith@themeredithshow.com and my team will set up an appointment right away.